Hello and welcome to Searching for the World's Greatest Podcast. I'm your host, Amalo Farallah, and I'm here with Taylor Green.
Hi!
So Taylor, tell us about your capstone so far.
So my capstone is called Music of Philly. So I just wanted to basically find out how does music play a role in the lives of people in Philadelphia. So basically I found high school students from different schools like SLA or Benjamin Rush or Kappa and stuff, and I asked them what their connection to music is, and I had interviews set up with different people who had different connections to music. So a student here is very involved in the punk scene, so I asked her questions pertaining to that. There's a student at Benjamin Rush who is very involved in, I forgot what the thing's called, but it's the little soundboard thing that's
the MIDI thing?
Yeah, it has the squares and the lights,
yeah,
and
that's
you hit
MIDI.
it and he's really good at making music on that, and I asked him everything about that and what made him want to get into that. So I just interviewed a lot of different people.
So what was your general idea of coming up with this capstone? How did you want to what was the Kickstarter to be okay, I want to do this thing?
Okay, well, I think the Kickstarter was me having a capstone idea that was not gonna work at all originally.
What was your original idea?
It was what is SLA's carbon footprint or whatever, and I was gonna find out how much waste SLA accumulates over a school year or whatever, but that's a lot of math and science that I'm not good at. So yeah, also I want to be a journalist when I'm older. So I think it would have been a good thing to do.
I can already see you on Vice just writing articles. This is the new thing forever. But
did you just call me dumb?
No. But yeah, so music wise, what do you think the advantages are? What are the writing advantages of doing music?
Wait, what do you mean?
Interviewing people music. What do you think was the thing that stuck out most to you? While interviewing.
Oh, I think something that stuck out the most to me was my water bottle is crinkling. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I think the thing that stuck out the most to me was when I always ask some of the same questions, I change it up for different people. But a question that I always ask is who are your inspirations musically or songwriting wise or whatever, and you'd be surprised by the inspirations that people draw from basically. So I remember I interviewed Weston Matthews, and he's a part of a rap group called Critical Theory, and they sound very much like Brockhampton in a way, at least to me. Stop! Don't.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay, but yeah, they're a cute little rap group of friends who are let's just make something fun and make something interesting. And when Wes named his inspirations, he was I like Nas and Lauryn Hill and a bunch of other people, and I was oh, I never would have thought that by listening to your music in a way, because you're just
yeah,
it's very experimental.
Is
in
it?
A way.
It's nuanced kind of it's more I guess 2018 or 2019 is what?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think is the effect of what do you think the effect of music has on you, what do you think people telling you their music wise stories affects you? What does it do for the community?
How does it affect me?
Yeah, you and the community around you.
Well, when people tell me their stories music wise, and I write about it or whatever, it makes me feel, I guess accomplished in a way that like I'm able to like accurately like portray their story, because every time that like I finish an article, I always like text or like email the person like immediately after. I'm like, hey, it's up, please let me know if you thought I misquoted you in any way, shape, or form, just let me know. And like they're like, no, like it's perfect, it's awesome, it's amazing, like you really captured like everything I wanted to say. And it's like I just feel like very like happy like when I'm able to like get what someone is trying to say like in a perfect way without like them being misinterpreted or anything.
Yeah,
so,
like
yeah.
bring out like the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any like musicians that like, or maybe like people in the SLA area that like you really like, who was someone like, okay, I really want to interview this person?
I think a person I really wanted to interview was Weston Matthews. Just because like the fact that he like came from Detroit like in his junior year, and like he made like a group in Detroit, and like they're still together now, like even though he's like away from them. I think it's amazing that they're still able to like be connected. And he's like, oh yeah, like I record and like I send like them my recordings and they send me their recordings and we still like make music together and stuff. And I'm like, that's so sweet.
I think that's definitely a thing that people need to look out for in the future, is that like the sense of community and like being friends in general can really take you far, especially in a industry like music, when you have that connection to everyone. But so why do you think this capstone works out for you? Like
no, I think this capstone like works out for me just because like I know I want to pursue like journalism like in the future. And like if I were a music journalist, that would be cool. But I mean,
see you on Rolling Stones and stuff.
On Rolling Stone. No, but like if I was a music journalist, it'd be really cool. And I think it just kind of ties in the things that I'm passionate about into like one thing, and like it still like implements like stuff that I've learned throughout the year, because I'm in the journalism elective with Miss Pahoma, and she has cultivated me in an amazing way, even though she's not my capstone mentor, but still like she's been very helpful like with my writing and stuff.
How do you think you've grown from this capstone? You know, like how do you think like, other than like switching up, like I'm gonna do this but then I'm gonna do this, like how do you think?
I would say that like, I don't know, I think I'd say like I'm just like a much like better writer now. Like I don't know, like there would just be like one point in my life where I took like kind of long to write things, but now it's like if I could do an interview in like one day and I actually like sit down and like focus like on the writing, I can probably finish like the article within like 4 days or maybe like a week or whatever. So yeah.
What do you like? I'm just wondering, like, what do you think are some questions that like you frequently ask like to a musician?
I asked them like who like are their inspirations. I asked them like, do they collaborate with other artists? If so, like what is that process like? I asked them like what's their favorite part or least favorite part about being like within the music field or stuff like that. Yeah, I tend to ask like some of the same questions unless I know like someone's doing something like different. Like for Shiloh, I had like questions that were more like based on like the punk, like the background of like punk music and like the punk scene and all that stuff, and how like the scene works. So yeah.
So do you have any final thoughts on your capstone or just the music in general?
No.
Nothing? Not anything?
go to musicaphilly.com if you want to read any of my articles. I'm a pretty good writer, if I do say so myself. And follow me on the gram, Music of Philly. Everything's Music of Philly.
Thank you so much, Taylor.